lean towards less towards that or more towards that?
Yes, in physical,
Yes.
it has more because some other students are come from outside. That near at Churchgate, Bandra, that side from Virar.
Yes, sir. Traveling time
Then
also counts in that.
traveling time will
Yeah.
attach to that. That's why 75% is more from physically. And for online purpose, perspective, the 75% is enough for that. From that, they can easily remove the time for that. What they can have to make, what extracurriculum activities they have to do. 75% is enough for today's perfect
Yeah, I do agree.
perspective.
And for practical session, it should be 100%. For lectures, it can be vary, but for practical, it should be compulsory 100%.
Yeah, one more point which Shubham Kansara has made, I think the group has missed out. Shubham said that every year thousands of engineers are graduating from different colleges in India, and hardly about 40 to 50% they are able to find a job for themselves because they are, according to the industry experts, okay, they don't become employable even after studying for 4 years for the engineering program. So what Shubham Kansara said, that is, if you make 75% attendance compulsory, okay, so the people, the students, they will learn better in the classroom than spending time on another other set of activities. So that was one important point. And then what other members in the group said, that in the present online kind of classroom, 75% of attendance, okay, for every subject the students will be able to manage. But when the colleges actually start functioning and when the students are called to the classes, then that time some kind of consideration may be given by the college, as it becomes a gray area when actually colleges become that gray area. I think this phrase, who has used, I like that phrase. So that
Sir,
should be at who? Jash.
just Parmat.
Yeah. Yeah. Jash Kansara and then Yash. Okay. All of you have spoken well. And then uh, Ankit also, your analysis was good. Okay, so it's a good participation, and then everybody gave chance to every other student to speak. No one dominated the discussion. Okay, so that was also a very good point about the discussion what we had today. Now let me see whether we have some video on group discussion etiquettes.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll show you one video on etiquettes of group discussion. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the video? Hello? Can you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Hello everyone. I hope all of you will be safe and healthy. I'm Dr. Ritu Mohan and welcome you all on my YouTube channel Communication for Success. My today's video is about the etiquettes and manners one must follow during the group discussion. With an ever increasing demand of recruitment and admission in various sectors, the trend of group discussion rounds has also become extremely crucial. So there can be a lot.
Are you able to hear the voice of the GD? this video?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yes, sir.
What we should do, what we should not do, how to participate in GD, and how we can prepare before taking part in any GD. But today's video is centered up to the etiquettes and manners because GD is a medium through which the panelists can judge the better candidate for the desired position. So for the both purposes, admission and job as well, GD is very important. So in this video, in very brief, I will let you know some points that can help us to leave good impression while participating in a GD. So let us start. The first one is one must reach in time and one must dress formally. Punctuality and neatness actually go a long way. One should not present in a GD without having a notepad or pen because this shows a casual impression. So we should have a pen or a notebook. You can refer to what others have said previously and will make you look organized. So must carry that. Speak sensibly and listen others carefully. Pay attention while others are speaking. This will make coherent discussion and you will get involved in the group in a positive way. Remember not to deviate yourself from the topic. Don't talk unrelated things and waste others' opportunity. So speak, but within a sense, and do not deviate yourself from the topic, and be to the point. Don't interrupt in the speech of other participants, and you must wait till they complete. One should maintain proper balance in a tone while objecting to the points made by other speakers. Right? There's a common saying empty vessels make more noise. So avoid raising your voice or shouting. Of course, we must respect the opinion of other participants. And of course, we can disagree, but with politeness. So, also agree and acknowledge what you find interesting in other views, right? So, you can use phrases like this is interesting and makes me further think that, or what you have said here sheds light on another aspect, right? Of course, we can disagree, and there is a place. It's a good platform to show our knowledge, and it's not possible that always we are agree with others. In one of my videos, I have told you that how to disagree with politeness, right? So show your disagreement, but in a dignified manner. We must respect others' opinion because it's a good platform to learn from others. We should discuss, not argue. So we are there to discuss, not argue. We are not there to win someone, rather we want to show what we know. Our body language should be appropriate because it does matter a lot. And be confident but not the overconfident. Show your confidence, but we should not say I know it already. We should not say to any participant that I know what you are going to say. So don't be overconfident. Try to be a leader. It's a good platform, good place to show your leadership skills. So you can listen to others, you can speak whenever you find time or opportunity, and you can manage the discussion also. You can become a leader. You can say this is the turn to uh, means he or she can speak. You can know someone's name, means you can coordinate the discussion itself. So show your leadership skills. Don't be so serious and so carefree, right? Because it's not a battle. And if you get a chance to conclude, because those who initiate and conclude gets additional attention. So whenever you get a chance, must initiate the discussion and try to conclude the discussion, but conclude positively. Try to include others' point also. And if you are concluding, conclude with a in a way that you must recognize the contribution of almost every member. This shows that you have listened to them carefully, right? Here are some things that we should do and we should not do during a group discussion. One must make eye contact with everyone. It is really important. Don't read from your notebook and don't look outside. Make a proper eye contact with every participant. Make notes and present at appropriate time. It's really good to make notes because when others are speaking, there are many things which are coming in your mind. So note that at that time and speak when you got the chance. Be objective, not subjective. It's a really important thing that we should be objective, not the subjective. We should not look at the things by our own perspective, rather in a whole, in toto, right? Use rhetoric but not the jargons. So we can use some very good words to persuade others, but we should not use the jargons because these are the barriers in communication. Show your creativity, not imagination. So don't create any unnecessary story. Rather, you can give some creative opinions, creative ideas. Don't lose temper. It may happen that someone is, showing disagreement with us. So we should not lose our temper. Rather, we should respond in a organized way, right? Don't finger out someone. It's a part of body language. We should not finger out anyone. Don't make personal remarks. Yes, of course, it can ruin our interpersonal relationships. Suppose we are selected and we are working with the colleagues which were the part of that discussion we had. So we cannot, refine that relationship. So don't make any personal remarks. Don't present false data. Yes, it's a matter of authenticity. It's a matter of faith. So don't use false data. Don't politicize every point and situation. One can correlate anything to politics. But if debate is not about politics, try to avoid the topics, the points from politics. So don't politicize every point and situation. So these were some things we should do and we should not do during the group discussion. I'll sum up with some beautiful quotes related with group discussion. See, if you can't add to the discussion, don't subtract by talking, right? Second, the aim of an argument or discussion should not be victory but progress. Yes. A good rule for discussion is to use hard facts and soft voice. Really. Next one is a good discussion increases the dimension of everyone who takes part. Yes, these four quotations express the spirit of group discussion very beautifully. And as you know, the four main points of group discussions is group behavior, communication, focus and coherence, presentation and content.
Yes, so we have seen some of the important points which are to be kept in mind when you are when you are part of the group discussion process. So we continue with the other points here. Now, how one can become part of the group discussion? The first is we saw just now in the video. Keep eye contact while speaking. So do not
Sir,
look. Hello.
sir,
Uh, yes, please.
sir, how can we proceed when you don't know about the topic?
How can?
We proceed when we don't know about the topic, sir.
See, normally before the group discussion starts, Ankit, the
Yes, sir.
assessor will give you the topic name.
Yeah.
Just now we had the topic today in today's class discussion, group discussion. What we had topic of 75% attendance is too much for engineering students. Okay. So now when this topic is given, you have to crystallize your ideas. You have to crystallize your thoughts. You have to define concepts in your own mind about the topic. Hello, Ankit. So if you do not know, suppose the topic is totally alien to you, then let others start the discussion. When you're part of the group discussion will be started by other participants, and then you can speak when you feel that yes, this is the right time to speak and you have some new ideas coming to your mind. You can convey these ideas. Ankit, are you able to understand now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I proceed?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So initiate the GD. What we saw, the initiating GD is a big plus. So keep in mind that point. Now initiate the group discussion only when you have understood the GD topic. That's what I said, Ankit. So even if you don't understand the topic, wait for the group discussion to start because somebody is going to initiate that. So you will not initiate the discussion unless you have understood the GD topic clearly and you have some knowledge about the topic. Now, speaking without proper subject knowledge is bad impression. Now, third is allow others to speak. So, do not interrupt anyone in between while speaking. So, even if you don't agree with the thoughts, do not snatch their chance to speak. Instead, make some notes and clear the points when it is your turn. Now, fourth one, speak clearly. So, speak politely and clearly. Use simple and understandable words while speaking. Don't be too aggressive if you are disagreeing with someone. Express your feelings calmly and politely because other participants in the group discussion are also important. And then you should not be hurting any other participant, your fellow colleague participant. You should not be hurting him, and you should give equal respect to all the participants. Next point is make sure to bring the discussion on track. So if by any means group is distracting from the topic or goal, then simply take the initiative to bring the discussion on the track. Make all group members aware that you all need to come to some conclusion at the end of the discussion. So stick to the topic. Then sixth one, positive attitude, be confident. So do not try to dominate anyone. Keep positive body language. It shows interest in the discussion. Now speak sensibly. So do not speak just like to increase your speaking time. Don't worry even if you speak less. Your thought should be sensible and relevant instead of irrelevant speech. Now listen carefully to others. Now speak less and listen more. Pay attention while others are speaking. Now this will make coherent discussion and you will get involved in the group positively. So you will surely make people agree with you. Okay. Now no need to go into much details. So you may not specify too many details, too many technical things. You may not specify in the discussion because the time is limited. So you have to be precise. You have to convey your thoughts in short and simple language. Now, what are the initiation techniques? If you want to initiate a group discussion, what techniques can be followed? Say, you state the topic, you quote, give the definition, you can start the topic with a question, you may give some shock statement, start with by indicating facts and figures and statistics, and then initiate the GD only when you have understood the topic and you have a valid point to make and to start the discussion. Now, don't start any group discussion, okay, just for the heck of it, or just for you getting some kind of advantage in the communication, or you want to derive some mileage on that. So don't do that just for the heck of it. Now, opening sentence should lead the GD, and keep the opening part very brief if you are initiating the dialogue. Now, in the group discussion, you can play the role of moderator. So moderator is the person who controls the GD. He is a team player. He leads the group discussion. It allows silent or struggling participants to get in, and then he controls the group discussion communication process, because if some participant is making the group discussion to lose the track from the main topic, then the leader of the group discussion or the moderator of the group discussion, who is one of the participants, he will get the GD on track. Then requests a participant not to interrupt, argue, or make controversial remark. Moderator will also check. He will warn other participants in a polite, in a nice way, not to interrupt, allow everybody to speak, allow everybody to get a chance and put forward the point. He should not, he will control the member who is interrupting, who is putting forward the unnecessary arguments, or who is making controversial remarks. So these participants will be controlled by the moderator. Now, how do you summarize the group discussion? Okay, avoid raising new points. See, summary is only whatever has been discussed so far in the process of 15 to 20 minutes. So whatever points have been debated upon, only these points are summarized. No new point should be raised in the summary or conclusion part. Avoid stating only your viewpoint. So summary is you have to present the collective view of all the participants. Don't present your only viewpoint. Okay. Avoid dwelling only on one aspect of the GD. Keep it concise, brief. It must incorporate all the important points that come out during the GD. Now, if the examiner asks you to summarize a GD, it means that the GD has come to an end. Now, do not add anything once the GD has been summarized. Now, begin with in a nutshell or to summarize. State group opinions, not just your opinion. Incorporate all the major points. Keep it brief. If a consensus, then conclude with one. If mixed opinions, then take a poll by a raise of hands, yes or no, and conclude, and end the GD after summary. Now, use statements like I agree with my friend. I would like to add a point to what my friend said. I would further like to add something to. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In my opinion, according to state source, facts, statistics, I think we are diverting away from the subject. Please allow our friend so and so, who has been trying to say something, a chance. I request Mr. So and so to give his opinion on this. So you can use statements like this. So it will help you to win additional points. So argument is exchange of ignorance, and discussion is exchange of knowledge. Okay. Now, see what I suggest. Maybe we take a quick break of 5 minutes and then we join back. Is that fine? The meeting will be on. We are not going to end the call. And since all of you said that you have a seminar at 10:45, okay, so we will end the meeting. Okay, second session, I will end little early around 10:35, 10:40. Is that fine with you? Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll be joining back after 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, we have to leave or we have to remain here only?
No, you be in the meeting. So just 5 minutes break. Okay. Just for
Okay, sir.
someone to have a cup of tea or whatever, water. 5 minutes break and then we join back. Okay. Don't leave the meeting. I will start discussing on another topic, or we'll show you another video after 5 minutes. Because you have a seminar at 10:45. So I'll end the session, second session, little early today, around 10:45, 10:35 or 10:40. I will leave all of you. Okay, but you can be in the meeting. You don't have to leave the call, because your attendance also will be recorded. No, so that's fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.